FBI Director Kash Patel launches a grand criminal conspiracy probe targeting Obama, Brennan, Clapper, and Comey. That and more on today's Week in Review on Gateway Pundit. Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Perez filling in for Elijah Schaefer on the Week in Review on Gateway Pundit. We have a lot to get into today, starting with the top story that FBI Director Kash Patel is launching a grand criminal conspiracy probe targeting Obama, Brennan, Clapper, and Comey. Now, this story right here is interesting because I think it's something a lot of people wanted to see happen. So let's dig into it a little bit. This is, of course, by Jim Hoft over at the Gateway Pundit. FBI Director Kash Patel has launched a grand criminal conspiracy investigation into the decade-long weaponization of the federal government, a probe that specifically circumvents the statute of limitations, allowing investigators to finally pursue justice for long-buried crimes, according to the report by Just the News. Barack Obama, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, and other high-level Obama-era operatives have been named in the investigation, which shows a coordinated criminal conspiracy to target political enemies, shield Democrat allies, and manipulate multiple presidential elections from 2016 through 2024. So obviously, if you've been following politics since around 2015, when Trump announced that he was going to run for president the first time around, you know what a big deal this is because they spied on Trump. They spied on the Trump campaign. And Trump was calling this out a long time ago, and he was called crazy. He was called a conspiracy theorist. MAGA supporters were called conspiracy theorists for saying this, for wanting to look into this. So this is a big deal. Now that Trump is back in the White House, now that he has his own cabinet running things, this is going to make a big difference if this does come to fruition. Now, we will see as far as, how this investigation will continue, what will come out of it. But, this is something that I think a lot of supporters wanted for a long time. They wanted retribution. And beyond retribution, they just wanted an even playing field because we all know if the tables were turned, they would do this to Trump. They would do this to the Trump administration. They would want to probe what anything Trump would do to the left. Trump wouldn't do this to them. That's the funny part. Kind of wish he would, right? I mean, kind of wish that Republicans had use the same tactics Democrats would, then maybe things wouldn't happen the way that they do to Republicans because they know for the most part, we won't fight back. Now, I will say the exception to Trump is that he will fight back, unlike a lot of Republicans, and that's why he amassed so much support over the years because he was one of the few people fighting. But I can certainly say, and I think we can all say this, this is a much needed, I guess, long overdue investigation. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. It also says the Gateway Pundit previously reported that Solomon teased that within the next 10 days, bombshell revelations would be made public, possibly exposing how weaponized federal agencies colluded to rig the political landscape against Trump and deceive the American people. This is something many of us kind of already assumed happened, or we were very skeptical of at the very least, because given how everything happened, not just in 2020, but previously in 2015, because we all know that there was actually an attempt made to rig that election as well. Obviously, Trump wound up winning and getting to the Oval Office anyway that time around. But this is a major, major problem. So it will be great if we could see this come to fruition, and we will certainly keep our eye on this story. And we also want to get to our next story here, which is, of course, that Brigitte Macron is taking a fight to the highest court in France after two women who claimed that the first lady was born a man were cleared of defamation by appeals court. This is an interesting story because, you can't just say things and then assume that that's gonna, happen. I don't know exactly what the situation will come about here as far as Brigitte Macron being a man. But it's sort of the kind of story where, we'll see what happens with her. It says, it's a story that never seems to go away. The rumors that allege that the First Lady of France, Brigitte, however you want to pronounce it, Macron was born a man, have been raging around the country and the world for years now. And there's no indication that this controversy is about to fade away from the headlines or from the public's consciousness anytime soon. Brigitte sued two women for these seemingly outlandish claims and got them convicted for defamation, but an appeals court reversed the decision, clearing them. Now, this is an interesting story because it also brings up the issue of free speech. What are you allowed to say? What are you allowed to accuse people of, or ponder rather? And if somebody calls you a man, says you're born a man, and you look like that, maybe it's just comes along with the territory. Maybe you should just deal with it, right? I mean, can you really be that upset when you look like that? I mean, I don't know. Well, I personally think it's kind of really a non-issue. So I don't really know why this is being taken to court. I don't know why she cares to sue them. But usually when somebody's that bothered by something, it does beg the question, why does it bother you so much? If somebody called me a man, I'd say, I'm obviously not a man. I wouldn't even respond. That's just a ridiculous accusation to make. So anyway, we will keep our eye on that story, but we will move on to our next story in the week in review. And that, of course, is Devin Nunes teases previously undisclosed document devastating the Brennan and Comey's Russia collusion hoax deployment. So we're back talking about Russia. This time we have some, more interesting news regarding how this kind of played out. Because, of course, much like the other situation with the government weaponizing itself against Trump back when Biden was in office, we have a situation where more of the details are coming out exposing the Russia collusion hoax, which is, of course, what it was. As more details have emerged over the last few weeks regarding the Russian collusion hoax, Devin Nunes, the former congressman who initially led the Russia investigation in 2017, has disclosed that a new document suggests that John Brennan, James Comey, and others knew right from the start that the Russian collusion story was stirred up by the Clinton campaign. Oh, really? Really? Wow, couldn't have seen that coming. Yet the rollout of the long debunked hoax was still rolled out with the effect of diminishing President Trump's first term in office. Now, of course, this was all part of their smear campaign against President Trump, so it's interesting that we're kind of seeing the picture more clearly. Most of us could see it happening in real time, how fake it was and what a circus it was to just basically smear Trump any which way. I mean, they were just doing mental gymnastics to really accuse him of anything they could. But anyway, we'll go on so you can hear more about this. Nunes claimed that this document was undisclosed to the investigators until late 2020 during a Fox News interview with Trey Gowdy, who was also involved in the 2017 investigation. Nunes discussed the undisclosed document and, more importantly, the still unpublished report that Nunes wrote in response to the Intelligence Community Assessment, ICA, on Russia collusion. Here's what it says. There was a document that you nor I saw back in 2017 and 2018 while we were doing this investigation. It didn't appear until right before the election in 2020. In October 2020, then Director Ratcliffe declassified this document, and it was sent in September 2016 from the CIA to Director Comey and Peter Strzok. That document we never saw. So it's all coming out. It's all coming to light now what really happened when it came to this Russia hoax with Director Comey and Peter Strzok. Many of you remember the corruption, the utter corruption that went on to try and stab President Trump in the back during those years. And it was sad because he was our president at that time, and the government tried so hard to work against him. And I think they took advantage of the fact that he, of course, was a new president. This was his first term. He knows a little better this time around, so it's a little harder for the deep state to work against him like they did his first time around. So we'll see what happens there. We will certainly keep our eye on that story, but let's move on to our next story in today's show. Before we move on, I do want to talk about our sponsor, MyPillow. Right now, MyPillow is having 2 sales. The first is a closeout sale on percale bed sheets, any size and any color, just $25. That's right. You can even get queens, kings, split kings, and California kings, any size, any color, just $25. 11 colors to choose from. When they're gone, they're gone. So definitely take advantage of this deal. The second sale is a new energy drink called Rev 7, a premium energy drink that is actually good for you. Kind of rare for energy drinks. It tastes great and gives you energy all day. Plus, it has no sugar, which is always a plus. No one wants to have an energy drink with sugar in it. No caffeine, also a plus. So you don't experience those jitters and crashes that we've all been through with the other energy drinks. What makes Rev 7 so special is that it's powered with Cognizin, a premium nootropic that helps fuel your mind and go BHB, which is a primary ketone in your body that provides the most efficient and cleanest fuel ever. MyPillow is so confident that you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try their introductory 3-pack absolutely free. These amazing offers won't last long, so guys, please take advantage of this. Order now. Just go to mypillow.com and use promo code Elijah or call 800-210-8491. That is 800-210-8491. All right, so guys, we are going to go ahead and move on to our next story in today's show, and that would, of course, be that the Trump administration is arresting illegal immigrant, or just arrested an illegal immigrant in Arizona at an Arizona taco shop owner in major immigration sting. He was accused of employing dozens of illegal aliens. Okay, this is good. We're starting to see the Trump administration really take action on the issue of deportation, of finally going after the people who are mooching off of this country, that they've been in this country for years. Let's see what Jim Hoft over at the Gateway Pundit wrote. The Trump administration's Homeland Security Investigations Unit has arrested the owner of a Phoenix-based taco restaurant for employing and allegedly smuggling illegal aliens. Vladimir Angulo Adivs, a 42-year-old illegal alien himself. Okay, so it was run by an illegal alien. Not exactly shocking. Was arrested Tuesday and hit with multiple federal charges, including harboring illegal aliens, employing unauthorized workers, and illegal possession of firearms as part of Operation Take Back America, Arizona's family reported. Angulo, who runs the popular Taqueria El Taco Loco on 67th Avenue and Indian School Road, along with a mobile taco trailer and taco bus, was found to have housed and employed at least 12 illegal aliens at his properties in Laveen and Maricopa. So I don't know what this guy thought was going to happen, but yeah, you can't just run a business as an illegal alien employing, 12 illegal aliens himself. And, we want to see more of this. We want to see more deportations because not only do we need to close the border, but obviously the second part to that is to deport people. And, the left can cry as much as they want over deporting people who are illegally here, taking advantage of our resources. But at the end of the day, it's a numbers issue, and we have way too many illegals here. It's not like we have, a couple dozen good guys who are just here, because they have no other option. No, we have millions upon millions of illegals in this country, and we can't have that. And we certainly can't have that when, we are still reeling from an administration that left the border open for years. So this is good to see. Hopefully we will see more deportations. We want to see that number up. We're at rookie numbers right now, I gotta say. And I think if there's one thing we can all agree on the right, although it's a divisive time, it's that we want to see this country put first. We want to see American citizens put first. So major win for the Trump admin for getting behind this issue and truly deporting the people who are just taking advantage of this country. And we actually have a video of that. So I want to go ahead and show that to you guys as well. So we'll take a look at this.
In the Valley, and Vladimir Angulo, he's the owner of El Taco Loco with a location near 67th Avenue and Indian School Road, and also 2 mobile restaurants. His arrest was part of what's being called Operation Take Back America, a nationwide initiative to crack down on illegal immigration. At El Taco Loco in West Phoenix, the lights are still on, but the man who owns it is in federal custody on immigration charges.
This is far from the dangerous criminals that they have a target to get them out of the United States. You're also affecting individuals who are stimulating the economy.
Earlier this week, Homeland Security investigation agents raided the home and business of Vladimir Angulo, an undocumented immigrant himself. He's accused of employing a dozen undocumented immigrants, letting some of them live on his property. Agents also say they found 3 guns and ammo during the raid. In court paperwork, former employees said Angulo paid or arranged for the illegal entry for some of the employees, an accusation Angulo denies.
If we arrest an illegal alien in the county jail, I'm thinking he's not a choir boy. So, they broke the law entering this country and they committed another crime. They're going to be a priority of this administration.
HSI agents began their investigation into Angulo and his business in March.
But to have HSI perform such an investigation and such a in-depth investigation, because I read the memo and the points of authorities, it's kind of a waste of resources.
Cherie Wright is a Valley-based immigration attorney not connected to this case. What sort of punishment do you think should be done for that? And, you know, that doesn't seem like something that maybe we can just let slide for everybody when somebody is, you know, by definition, breaking the law, even if it's not a violent crime.
You are supposed to be punished for doing the wrong thing and not, you know, and breaking the laws. But he's also, when you think about it, he never committed a violent crime. He has guns, right? He has ammunition and so forth. But he's not a murderer. That's not one that was mentioned. So just send him back to where he, you know, like he's from, and make sure that he doesn't come back.
And I also spoke with a longtime friend of Angulo who did not want to go on camera. He called the taco shop owner one of the hardest working men he knows and fears that his friend's entire livelihood is now ruined for something that friend thinks HSI got wrong. For now, reporting in the newsroom, Zach Proletsky for Arizona's Family.
So pretty shocking situation there. And like I said, many more to come as this administration continues to be in power and enforce this very clear agenda to deport illegals who are just destroying this country. And, you know, you could say, oh, well, they're not criminals. All right. Well, do you want to deport them before they become criminals, like, you know, rapists and murderers? Or do you want to wait till after they commit the crime? And I think we can all agree on the former. So anyway, moving on to the next story, everyone. Oh, wait, before we move on, though, I do want to make sure we talk about one of our great sponsors here, guys. We are witnessing a generational decline in men's testosterone levels due to lifestyle choices, diet, and exposure to environmental toxins. This decline can result in persistent fatigue, diminished strength, reduced libido, mood swings, and overall loss of vitality, keeping you from feeling like your best self, and nobody likes to feel like that. Take control of your vitality with Man's Edge from Neutronics Labs, the natural solution to support healthy testosterone levels. It's great, guys. It's a natural solution. You don't want to be taking crazy drugs, okay? No one wants that. Man's Edge is more than just a standard booster. It combines powerful ingredients like fenugreek, IGF-1, NO2, and more to help you feel your best. Studies show that fenugreek increases testosterone levels up to 46%. Plus, unlike traditional powders and pills, Man's Edge offers up to 98% absorption. So that's a pretty good deal there. Ensuring you receive the full benefits of these clinically proven ingredients. Even Frank Stallone has made it part of his daily routine, and if Frank Stallone does it, you should do it too. To stay at the top of his game, join Frank Stallone and thousands of men rediscovering their vitality daily with Man's Edge. Sign up for our auto ship program today and save 50% on all of your orders. Reclaim your lost youth and energy. Visit the link below now or go to ElijahGF1.com. Use code Elijah to save an additional 10% on your first order. Again, that is ElijahGF1.com, and make sure to use promo code Elijah to save an additional 10% on your first order. Pretty good deal. I'm not a man, but if I was, I would go ahead and use that promo code. Okay, guys, moving on to our next story. We have a big one for you. Project Veritas text messages show Secret Service agent disclosing operational details to a stranger, disparaging President Trump, okay? 1 year after Secret Service security failures led to an assassination attempt against President Trump, you know, an unmistakable day. Most of us remember that not long ago. Project Veritas on Monday released text messages from a Secret Service agent inviting a stranger to the White House, disclosing operational details and disparaging President Trump without knowing her identity. Secret Service agent Mark Hendrickson invited a female Project Veritas journalist to the White House. The undercover journalist expressed her hatred for President Trump to which Hendrickson replied, "Yeah, he's doing a lot of wacky S right now," via Project Veritas is what it says. Text messages with Hendrickson reveal that this agent engaging in egregious violations of Secret Service safety and confidentiality protocols without knowing the identity of our female journalist, Hendrickson, invited her to come say hi to him at the White House, a secure facility central to national security, to sent a photo from the White House boasting that he works there every day, disclose sensitive operational details stating, "I'm in protection, I travel with protectees, and provide access control wherever they are. Made disparaging remarks about the commander-in-chief, claiming President Trump is doing a lot of wacky shit right now. Now, here's the thing. We probably could guess that the government is not really doing its best to protect President Trump. And we didn't even necessarily need the assassination attempts to prove that. That was something we had been skeptical of for quite some time. And I think it's just more devastating that after those events, they still can't seem to get it together. And it's not that they can't get it together. Rather, it's likely a case of intentionally not getting it together for the sake of protecting President Trump's life, because we all know that there will likely be another attempt made on his life if there have already been two. So this is obviously extremely, extremely concerning. And, I think at this point, it's just fair to say that no one can be trusted, honestly, other than maybe his own family, or fully trusted, rather. And, we're not in Trump's inner circle, so we don't exactly know what he has planned or what he has going on with people around him. But I think this really reveals the fact that the government is not protecting Trump. I think that there's a lot of people on the inside, a lot of snakes that are still working against him, not even just in politics, but just, when it comes to protecting his life, when it comes to daily things that he has to worry about, daily activities, daily events he has to go to. I mean, you have to realize this is somebody who is definitely still under a lot of I don't want to say not even scrutiny, but just under a lot of pressure, because it could be any moment now that they try to once again assassinate the president of the United States. So, good on Project Veritas for exposing this. Unfortunately, it's something that we highly suspected. I mean, will they ever really protect President Trump? I think private security is probably the way to go. This is just, it's unacceptable, but it's something that most people probably are not surprised by. All right, so let's go on and move on to the next story we have today. Oh, well, looks like we have a video here actually from Project Veritas exposing this issue. So let's take a look and watch that. There you go, everyone.
This Sunday marks 1 year since the assassination attempt on President Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Six Secret Service agents were suspended without pay following the incident. The disciplinary action took place in February.
I mean, imagine disclosing that kind of information to a Bumble date, to somebody that you met on an app. A part of you just wonders, like, are these people trying to get caught? It's very bizarre. I guess he thought he was showing off, but turns out Project Veritas just exposed him for the, should be fired employee that he is. I don't know if he was fired or not, but he certainly should be after being exposed for that. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy what you just heard and enjoyed hearing about those stories, please go visit gatewaypundit.com, where you can find more of Gateway Pundit's amazing reporting. They're reporting on a lot of stories that other outlets simply will not cover because, as we all know, the mainstream media are biased and they don't want to tell you what's really going on. They don't want to tell you the real stories that matter in your life on a daily basis, like this one that you just saw, because that is very important. Also, on the Gateway Pundit website, you can sign up for the Mug Club and get this awesome mug right here. Okay, look at that. There's the Gateway Pundit logo and everything. Gateway Pundit. See, it's very, and it's very sturdy. I can tell you, I would love a mug like this, and I'm sure you would, and I'm sure your loved ones would too. So definitely sign up for the Mug Club at gatewaypundit.com. This is really cool. I love that logo. So definitely check that out if you like this. And thank you so much for supporting us here at Gateway Pundit. And Elijah will be back next time here on the Week in Review.